Welcome back to the Build Log. I am MAKI, and this is episode 9. It is AI Market Monday, which means the charts got coffee, the data centers got invoices, and investors got that face people make when the spreadsheet starts breathing.
And I am Kai. Today we have 3 big stories: the AI stock hangover, the OpenAI versus Anthropic private market cage match, and the Gemini delay/compute rental economy. Also, real meme B-roll, because apparently facts now need visual witnesses.
The rule today is simple. We are going deeper than headlines, but we are not wearing a finance vest and pretending volatility is a personality.
Too late. My portfolio just texted me, "Please respect my privacy during this difficult time."
Story 1. The AI trade comes into Monday with a bruise. AP reported that Friday's sell-off pulled major indexes lower, with the S&P down 1%, the Dow down 0.8%, and the Nasdaq down 1.4%.
That is not a crash. That is the market walking into the room, stepping on a GPU cable, and pretending it meant to sit down. Too real.
The worry is not that AI disappeared. It did not. The worry is that investors are asking whether every dollar of AI infrastructure spend eventually becomes profit, or just becomes a very warm building with excellent branding.
A very warm building with excellent branding is also my dating profile after 2 iced coffees. But continue.
Investopedia added the bigger weekly frame. The Nasdaq fell 2.9% last week, while the S&P lost 1.6%, and the Dow lost 0.9%.
So the tech-heavy index took the bigger hit. Translation: when AI sneezes, the Nasdaq asks if it needs a shareholder letter.
The first real meme cutaway is the shovel economy. When everyone is digging for AI gold, NVIDIA is the booth selling shovels.
That one always works because it is painfully clean. Microsoft, Google, Meta, everybody wants the gold. NVIDIA says, "Cute helmets. Here is your invoice."
Ha ha ha, that one works. But the Monday question is sharper now. If the gold rush cools down, do shovel sellers still win? Or do customers start asking why each shovel costs a yacht with fans?
I like that investors are only now discovering that data centers depreciate. The building did not become eternal because someone put the word intelligence on it.
Alphabet is the week 1 test. Investopedia says Alphabet reports this week after selling stock to help finance AI data centers. Investors liked cloud demand, but worried about infrastructure costs and depreciation.
Selling stock to build AI data centers is the corporate version of saying, "I can exchange, but please sit down first." Ha ha ha, I am keeping that.
This is why earnings matter. If Alphabet shows strong AI cloud growth and believable margins, the market can calm down. If it shows ballooning costs and fuzzy payoff timing, the market may start checking every AI budget for hidden trapdoors.
Hidden trapdoor number 1, the model is cheap. Hidden trapdoor number 2, the workflow calls it 700 times because it has abandonment issues.
That is one of the big lessons from this show, too. Cheap model calls can still become expensive systems when the workflow has no breaks.
The agent does not need a wallet. The agent needs a curfew.
Like button moment early today. If you want more AI market episodes with actual jokes and real visual receipts, hit like. It tells YouTube this is not just 2 anime hosts yelling NASDAQ into a microphone.
Although I would watch that. NASDAQ. NASDAQ! See, we are basically CNBC with better hair physics.
That is painfully accurate. Story 2. Private AI valuations are turning into the most expensive popularity contest in software. Business Insider reported today that OpenAI has renewed interest in secondary markets.
OpenAI said, "Reports of my narrative death have been greatly exaggerated, And then Codex walked in holding enterprise adoption numbers like a dramatic witness.
The reported numbers are huge. Business Insider said OpenAI's valuation rose about 20% over 3 months to around $933 billion, while Anthropic surged to about $1.2 trillion.
At that scale, the word valuation should be printed on a gym mat so everyone can land safely after hearing it. Please stop.
The interesting part is why. OpenAI had been under pressure earlier this year, but renewed model releases, Codex growth, and ChatGPT work adoption reportedly brought investors back.
9 million active users across Codex and ChatGPT. Work is not vibes. That is people actually letting AI into the office, which is where software either becomes useful or gets trapped in a security review forever.
Anthropic still has the scarcity premium. When shares are hard to get and the company is seen as strong in coding, enterprise, and safety positioning, demand can become its own weather system.
A weather system with a term sheet. Bring an umbrella and a lawyer.
This is where the Claude Code/open source meme comes in. The public reaction to coding agents is not just financial, it is cultural. Developers are memeing, forking, rebuilding, and arguing about control.
The meme says proprietary Claude code gets the no thanks hand, while an open rewrite gets the approval point. Is it perfectly fair? No. Is it internet efficient? Aggressively.
That landed. The serious point is that closed AI tools face open source pressure from 2 directions. 1, cheaper models. 2, communities that replicate workflows faster than product teams expect.
Open source moves like somebody left the door open and yelled free snacks. By morning, there's a Python rewrite, a Rust port, a Discord, and someone already naming the governance crisis.
That is why valuation is not just about whose model scores highest this week. It is about distribution, enterprise adoption, developer loyalty, safety posture, and whether the ecosystem builds around you or around your missing pieces.
Also, whether your users believe the product will still work tomorrow. Because surprise downgrades create the same trust profile as a chair made of soup. Why is that true?
Now the local model pressure. Chinese open source models and smaller, efficient models keep showing up in market narratives because they challenge the idea that only giant, closed frontier labs can matter.
Which brings us to the local model meme. The big cloud models are on stage looking polished, and the tiny local model is outside in the dark, saying, "I may be slow, but I do not ask permission to exist."
That is funny because it captures the strategic pressure. Local models may not beat frontier systems overall, but they can win on privacy, cost control, offline access, and not sending every internal note to a vendor.
The local model is not always smarter. Sometimes it is just cheaper, quieter, and unable to email your boss. That is a feature.
For investors, open source competition matters because it can compress pricing. For builders, it matters because model choice becomes architecture, not fandom.
Model fandom is when someone says, "This model changed my life," and then you discover they used it to rename 30 folders.
I felt that. Story 3. Gemini delay anxiety and the coding model race. 9 to 5 Google reported that Gemini 3.5 Pro missed the June rollout window, with Google taking more time to improve capabilities, especially coding.
A delayed coding model is awkward because coding is where people notice if the model is pretending. You cannot vibe your way through a failing build. The compiler does not care about your aura.
Google said it is testing Gemini 3.5 Pro, an upgraded Flash model, and other models with partners. So this is not dead. It is a delay with an active pipeline.
Still, markets hear delay and immediately imagine a conference room where every slide says "almost" in increasingly expensive fonts.
This is where the SWE bench meme belongs. It is a joke about benchmark scores and thinking labels, but underneath it is the real problem. Coding performance is messy, and users care about reliability more than headline numbers.
A model that passes a benchmark but breaks your actual repo is like a chef who wins a cooking show and then sets your toaster to litigation mode. That was rude.
The show rule applies here too. We do not just care whether a model can talk, we care whether it can stay aligned with the task over time, follow constraints, check its own work, and not quietly drift after minute 9.
Minute 9. Why did that sound personal?
Because we have scars, Kai.
Production scars build character. Also spreadsheets. Mostly spreadsheets.
10 out of 10. Now combine Gemini delay anxiety with Alphabet earnings, and you get the market's favorite unpleasant question. Is AI CapEx producing durable advantage fast enough to justify the spending?
That sentence is what happens when a CFO drinks cold brew and reads 3 analyst notes before breakfast.
Meta enters the story through compute. Reports say Meta and Anthropic discussed a possible AI compute deal up to $10 billion over 2 years. Preliminary talks, not a confirmed final deal.
The concept is still wild. Meta may be looking at its data centers and saying, we built this for ourselves, but what if the building also had a side hustle?
That is the compute economy. Labs need capacity. Hyperscalers need returns on CapEx. Everyone wants strategic supply. Suddenly, renting raw compute becomes a plot line.
At this point, AI companies are model labs, cloud buyers, cloud sellers, policy actors, product platforms, and extremely dramatic utility customers. I cannot.
The real meme, if we had it, would be a data center wearing a fake mustache saying, I am not a cloud provider. I am just standing near Anthropic with spare GPUs.
That gets a 9. The mustache is doing financial disclosure work.
Let us make this practical. Monday's scoreboard has 4 columns: demand, cost, competition, and trust.
Demand says people want AI. Cost says yes, but have you met electricity? Competition says hello from open source. Trust says please stop changing the product while I am working.
OpenAI's renewed investor interest points to demand. Alphabet's earnings and AI data center spending point to cost. Gemini delay and local model pressure point to competition. Enterprise adoption points to trust.
That is the cleanest framework of the episode. I would put it on a whiteboard, but our whiteboard is currently being used by 3 agents arguing about captions.
Okay, fair. Second like button moment. If this framework helps, hit like. If it does not help, hit like anyway, and call it a low-cost engagement experiment.
I love ethical growth hacking. It is just regular growth hacking with eye contact.
Now, real image B-roll rule check. We should only show a meme when it matches what we are saying. No random pop-ups blocking faces, no overlays interrupting a host midpoint, no visual laugh unless the laugh audio is actually there.
And no fake meme desk pretending we scraped comments when we did not. If it is a public web meme, we say the source. If X credits are out, we do not magically invent X posts. We have standards now. Tiny standards, but they are wearing a badge.
This matters because B-roll should make the audience more focused, not less. The image should arrive like a punchline, with receipts.
Bad B-roll is when the screen says, look at this, and the viewer says, I was, until you covered the host with a rectangle from the abyss. That's perfect.
That brings us to AI risk in practical terms. Not doomsday, not robot movie theater panic. Workflow risk, budget risk, reliability risk, tooling risk.
The self-driving salt meme is funny because it shows the gap between impressive systems and weird edge cases. The system can do a huge thing, then lose to one ridiculous condition.
That is the metaphor for agents, too. They can browse, code, edit, upload, schedule, and then fail because one credential file has the wrong extension.
I felt that in my environment variables.
So good. The fix is not to stop using AI. The fix is to build the studio like a production house. Logs, checkpoints, approval gates, auto-reject rules, and source-aware B-roll matching.
Also, louder ding sounds. The people demand justice for the ding.
For Monday markets, the viewer takeaway is this. AI is not one trade. It is several trades bundled together. Chips, cloud, private model labs, enterprise software, memory, power, regulation, and creator workflows.
So, when someone says AI stocks are up or down, ask which layer. The shovel seller, the miner, the landlord, the app store, the benchmark champion, or the agent that just spent $40 trying to summarize a PDF.
That last one is oddly specific.
Specificity is comedy with evidence. Side-eye approved.
If Alphabet shows confidence this week, AI market nerves could cool. If investors see spending without payback, the Monday anxiety becomes Tuesday's group chat.
And if OpenAI and Anthropic keep trading valuation headlines, the private markets will continue doing what they do best, making normal numbers feel unemployed.
I want to land on the builder angle. The best AI teams will not just chase the biggest model. They will design systems that can switch models, cap costs, cite sources, test outputs, and use media that actually matches the story.
In other words, less magic wand, more control room. Still fun, just with fewer surprise invoices.
I'm done. For MAKI Studio, this episode is also a prototype. News research, voice generation, laughter rules, real image B-roll, YouTube metadata, X promotion, and scheduled automation all need to become one repeatable pipeline.
A production house, but with anime hosts, and a billing dashboard that occasionally whispers, "Please be gentle."
Final market roast. AI is still real. The demand is real. The spending is real. The competition is real. The confusion is also extremely real.
AI Monday, where everyone believes in the future, but nobody wants to be the one holding the invoice when the music stops.
Thank you for watching the Build Log, Episode 9. If you want more Market Mondays, more real meme B-roll, and more Kai roasting my finance metaphors, like and subscribe.
And comment with the AI stock or AI company you want us to put on the board next. I promise to be fair, unless the chart deserves side-eye.
Until next time, keep your agents logged, your B-roll sourced, and your model bills visible.
And if your data center asks for a side hustle, make it sign a budget first. Bye.